Hey guys! My name is Chantel, welcome back to my channel, and thanks for hanging out with me today. So, as you guys can see, I am not at my usual spot where I record. So the way that I'm gonna start discussing these episodes for Haikyuu, I am actually gonna start doing my makeup as I talk to you guys about the episode. I don't even know if you guys care about me doing my makeup on camera, or if it's just the same or whatever, or if you guys will like it and make this more entertaining as I talk. I don't know. But I have been thinking about this for a while, doing it like this, just because my makeup takes like an hour to do, and it's just, on Fridays I have no time at all to just sit down and talk about Haikyuu. There's like, sometimes I barely manage to squeeze in and sit down and talk, which is also why my videos for Haikyuu sometimes come out on Sunday, because weekends are super busy for me, especially because I am a mom and my kid comes first, so there's not really a whole lot of time for me to sit down and talk and like do videos and film and all that stuff. So yeah, this is a really good way for me to, like, you know, talk about the episode and not worry about how much time I have left. So yeah, I'm rambling on a lot, but I do want to say, I think what really encouraged me though to do these type of videos was thanks to JoJo Talks Too Much. If you're watching, thanks. I seriously appreciate it. Ever since you made that tweet a few days ago, I think that was like the push that I needed to do this type of video. So yeah, like I said, thanks, seriously, because I didn't, like, just seeing that you thought that was a good idea, like when you tweeted that out, like, this would be a good idea, here you go internet, I was like, oh, there's someone out there that actually thinks this would be a cool idea. So thanks, man, like seriously, thanks. I'm gonna go ahead and stop talking, and I'm just gonna go ahead and play the rest of the video, which is just me getting ready while I talk about this week's episode of Haikyuu, which, yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed, and here you go. I'm really nervous. I don't know how you guys would feel about this type of video, but we're doing it. We're doing it. You know, screw it. Alright, so while I am cleaning my brushes from the previous time I used them, let's just talk about Haikyuu. Let's talk about this episode. So, this week's episode. Let me tell you, as a manga reader, I've been trying so hard to keep quiet, especially with my good friend Mia. If you guys have seen my previous two videos with her, where it's just basically a voiceover with me and her just talking about the episodes, I was trying so hard not to like spill the beans and be like, you're gonna see Datetek, which I am pretty excited for this match. This match is super interesting, and I was really, really excited for this when I was reading it in the manga. It's really, really good, because a lot of stuff happens, not like with the match, so to speak, but more so with Kageyama, and you kind of see that throughout this episode, but more so towards the end, where he yells at Nishinoya that he's in the way, and obviously Nishinoya looks pretty pissed. So when this week's episode ended with Kageyama yelling at Nishinoya, I was like, seriously, we're gonna end it there? I know I look crazy right now, bear with me. As a manga reader, it's so hard to keep it quiet so you don't spoil it for the anime onlys. And I really, 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 really want to be respectful to the people that follow me on Twitter, because most of the people that follow me and I follow back are anime onlys. There's only, actually, I don't even know if there's anybody that follows me that I follow back that reads the manga. If you do, let me know, tweet at me and be like, hey bitch, I read the manga too. Anyway, like I was saying, I had to keep my mouth shut for another week regarding with Kageyama. So if it seems like I am holding myself back with my overall thoughts on Kageyama right now, that is why. It's just because it's so hard to find a balance to be respectful of the anime onlys and also wanting to geek out and be like, oh my god, you know? So yeah, it's so hard, so incredibly hard. Anyway, but about this episode, yeah, things are gonna be really crazy. Not, I guess crazy is not the right word, but it's gonna be really intense Because obviously in this episode, you can clearly see Kageyama is still holding on to what Atsumu told him at the training camp, which was him calling him a goody two-shoes. Clearly it bugs Kageyama a lot. And he doesn't know how to feel about being called a goody two-shoes. Like, granted, if someone called you a goody two-shoe, how would you feel about that? Like, not that great, right? So I understand why Kageyama's just like, why goody two-shoes? Like, what the fuck do you mean? Like, bitch? Which I personally, I don't know if I mentioned this in my other two videos, but when Atsumu said this to Kageyama, let me tell you, I did not like Atsumu at this point. I was just like, bitch, what the fuck are you saying to my boy? And I guess the reason why I was like a little bit angry that Atsumu said that to Kageyama was just because Kageyama's come such a long way, and then him being, you know, isolated from his teammates. Well, not necessarily like isolated, that's not the right word, but him being rejected by his teammates because of the way that he was playing, because they didn't like his playstyle and him being so demanding. They just like were like, we had enough, we're done, you're on your own. So Kageyama doesn't want to go back to that, and he, like I said, he's come a long way, and he's able to play with a team now, and he is able to communicate better with his teammates, and he's, you know, he's better for that because he joined Karasuno. Everybody on Karasuno has made like an impact on our boy. Like, he definitely does not want to go back to that, obviously. Like, he's terrified of that. And we did see that when he was thinking about, I think it was in last week's episode, where he's thinking about Atsumu calling him a goody two-shoes. I do feel bad for my boy Kageyama, because like I said, he's come a long way, and now for someone to tell him, you know, hey, you're being a goody two-shoes, what the fuck. There's also another thing I do want to mention, was Asahi mentions that Kageyama's had kind of like a scowl on his face ever since he came back from the training camp, which I completely forgot Asahi said that, and I was just like, oh yeah, he does mention that in the manga, and like Suga and Samura are like, huh? Well, like, what do you mean? And he's not the only one that notices it. Coach Ukai also notices it. He's just like, hey, like, what happened? You seem a little bugged about something. And he does open up to Coach Ukai. He does tell him, you know, hey, somebody called me a goody two-shoes. Like, what does that mean? What is your take on that? And obviously he's like, oh, like, you know, like, he understands why he would be called a goody two-shoes. He kind of explains it to Kageyama in a way that he can, like, it will make sense to Kageyama and kind of click to him. And basically, and I really do like the way that Coach Ukai explains it. He's basically like saying, you know, your tosses are basically super easy to do with the other players because they're just like easy. You don't really make them work for it. I guess that's like the best way that I can describe that, at least in my own words anyway. So I thought that was really interesting, and I was just like, that is actually a really nice way to put it, which again in turn makes Kageyama think about this again. Like, this is all this boy is thinking about since the training camp. So, and like I said, cannot say anything further, but yeah, it's just really interesting to see how much this is bugging Kageyama. I just think it's really interesting that these two characters specifically are noticing these little things in Kageyama. So obviously the training camp definitely has affected him in a way. Whether it's good or bad, I don't know. Find out next week. Which I think that's pretty much all I can really say without spoiling anything, so I'll stop there with my thoughts on Kageyama himself, I guess. Oh yeah, in this episode we do get to see, like, I like that he's super excited about playing Datatech. He's super excited, and it's just because, you know, they're a strong team. And holy shit, Datatech, oh my god, let me tell you, when I first read this in the manga, it made me really, really nervous, especially for our boy Asahi, because, you know, Asahi, this is a team that kind of basically broke him back in season 1 to the point where he didn't feel good about himself, and he blamed himself for that loss, which I thought was really sweet that Nishinoya was like, you're not gonna be scared, are you okay? And he's like, no, like they're the best opponents that I could ever ask for. And I was like, that's growth right there, man. Like, I am so proud of Asahi. He has definitely grown into such a good character, and his development is just really, really fantastic, which is also another reason why I absolutely love Haikyuu, is because of the character development that we get to see with all these characters. Like, it's just fantastic. So it's just really nice to see Asahi, you know, have a little bit of confidence in himself and be like, no, I'm fine, like, I can do this. I'm not who I was back then, you know? I'm a changed man. But it looks like he's trying out something new, because when Kageyama says to him, it looks like things didn't go his way, and Kageyama notices it. Like, I'm assuming that he does, just because of like the way that Kageyama reacted, but at the same time, Kageyama's face scares me a little bit. It's just that face that Kageyama makes me super nervous. I don't know, I did not like it. Anyway, what else can I talk about regarding this week's episode? Because basically this week's episode was just more of a reunion with our Kurasano boys, which I was very, very much happy about. It's been a while since we've seen our boys. We haven't seen them since, what, the first episode? Like, we saw glimpses here and there of them, but it's just not the same. Like, you know, everybody is just back together though, with Hinata and Kageyama and Tsukishima. Like, the whole team is complete. Everybody's there. And I'm really, really happy. Kyoko does say this in this episode, that, you know, Hinata and Kageyama's bickering puts her at ease. And honestly, same. Like, I felt that so much, because it's been a while since we saw these two bicker and be complete goofballs here and there. I do find funny was when Kageyama was telling Hinata basically, you know, you suck, blah blah blah, like kind of telling him the stuff that everyone has been telling him at his training camp that he snuck in, by the way. And I like that Hinata, his reaction was, can you not? I've been hearing that non-stop. And Kageyama's just like, dude, chill out. Like, this is the first time I'm saying it. Like, what is going on? And I mean, granted, Kageyama doesn't know that he has been getting an earful. Yeah, like, obviously he wouldn't know, but I just thought that was really, really hilarious. And speaking of Hinata and Kageyama, it looks like Kageyama definitely wants to get Hinata to jump higher. Like, we saw that at the beginning where he's trying to explain how he should jump, and I thought this was so adorable, but hearing Kageyama's sound effects were like the cutest thing ever, and they made me laugh so much because they I don't know, like, hearing Kageyama say these sound effects is just so freaking adorable, and something I don't know, I just never really saw coming. Well, not that I didn't see coming, because, you know, I do read the manga, but just hearing it is just a different experience, and I was just kind of sitting there like, what the fuck? Like, it's just things that you never thought you would hear. I don't know how else to explain it, but other than that, I just thought that was super cute, like the way that he was explaining it. And also Hinata saying, you know, Kageyama kind of sucks at trying to explain things with sound effects, which well, not that he sucks, I believe he did say that he's terrible at them, which I thought was really, really hilarious, but also very adorable on Kageyama's part. And these two do try to practice on that, because, you know, Kageyama's been telling Hinata, like, okay, how do you jump? And Hinata's just like, with my feet? Like, which I thought was, like, that part was stinking hilarious, and Kageyama's just like, you dumbass, like, I'm, like, being serious here, like, think about it. Which, in Hinata's defense, it's not like we're gonna think about, like, oh, how do I jump? You know, it's just something that you do, right? It's kind of like a natural thing. So it's kind of, you know, so how would you explain that? So that's why I was with Hinata. So they do practice, or at least try to, but then Daichi comes in and it's just like, go home, please. Which was hilarious, but Hinata and Kageyama weren't able to like practice this to see what Kageyama was trying to say to Hinata and figure out, because it looks like Hinata was gonna do like a really impressive jump, but because they got interrupted, we didn't get to see that. So I was like, God damn it. Like, I really would have liked to see that, because the way that they animated this, I was just like, holy shit, holy shit. Like, it almost looks like Hoshimi's, which Hoshimi is this boy right here. So Kageyama's definitely taking inspiration from Hoshimi in the way that he jumps. So I'm pretty sure just based on that and the way that Kageyama was like explaining it to Hinata, he's had like a lot of time to observe him. Is there anything else I want to talk about regarding Haikyuu? I don't know. I think I talked about it mostly while I was doing my eyeshadow. My eyeshadow takes forever, let me tell you. I guess let's talk about Datatech, because I haven't really talked about them and the way that they're playing. So yeah, let's just talk about Datatech, right? Right. So Datatech, oh my gosh, I'm really excited that we get to see them, because when I was reading this part in the manga, I was so excited to see everybody from Datatech again, because I honestly didn't think we were gonna see them for a while, or who knows when. So to be able to see them now, I was like, holy shit. And on top of that, it's a practice match. And I believe I did say this in my manga review. I hate the word review, but I have to put it on there because when I put thoughts, no one watches. But anyway, I was saying in that video how, like, you guys can go back into that if you want, but I would rather, especially if you're an anime only, I would suggest waiting until this practice match is over, so you guys can, if you guys want to see those videos, you guys can. So just wait until then, because yeah, spoilers obviously. But they're there if you want to see them. But I do remember saying in that video, or those videos, how this is perfect timing for them to have a practice match with Datatech, because they're the Iron Wall, and they, you know, Kurasuno obviously has a hard time with them with their blocking, and they need all the help that they can get, especially because they're going to nationals, and who knows what kind of people they're gonna be up against. There could be like another team that's even better at blocking than Datatech. You don't know what type of people you're gonna face. So I was like, holy shit, like, this is brilliant, because this gives them time to think about how they're gonna go against people that are like similar to Datatech, and figure out how to counter these type of teams that are really good at blocking, specifically read blocking, because that is a type that they are good at. Well, based on this episode, at least that's the vibe that I was getting from with Coach Uka, because they were mentioning read blocking a lot. So yeah, that is actually really interesting, and I was 100% in for this. I was really excited, especially because we were able to see just everybody put whatever they learned in their training camps into practice now, and see how it's gonna go with a strong team like Datatech. So this is definitely gonna be really good practice for our Kurasuno boys, and I'm really excited. I'm really excited for you anime onlys, especially to see how this practice match is gonna turn out and what they are gonna learn from it. And yeah, I mean, that's all I can really say regarding that. But with Datatech, they have definitely improved, obviously, especially with their blocking, and I'm like, holy shit, how are they gonna get through this practice match? Like, god the damn. But yeah, regarding Datatech, I think that's it that I wanted to talk about with them. The next few episodes are definitely gonna cover this practice match. It's not gonna be completely super duper long from what I can remember, because I'm pretty sure there's people out there that are like, okay, when are we gonna get to nationals? Because trust me, when I was reading this in the manga, holy shit, I wanted to just get to nationals already, because I was just really excited for our boys to just play a strong team again. Well, not a strong team, but see like what these other teams at nationals are made of, you know? Yeah, I don't know how you anime onlys feel right now, because let me tell you, like I said, as a manga reader, I did not see the bigger picture with these arcs, especially regarding with the ball boy arc. I know people probably feel like it's slow, because trust me, I felt like reading it in the manga, I was just like, okay, when are we gonna get this over with? But I do feel bad now having those thoughts because, like I said, I wasn't seeing the full picture until now. But I mean, like I said, we're all excited about our boys going to nationals, so obviously we want to see them go to nationals. I am really excited for everybody to see our boys at nationals because holy shit, the matches in nationals are great. You guys are in for a treat, you anime onlys. And even us manga readers, I'm like super excited to see how all these matches are going to be animated. Like, I am so excited. But before we get into nationals, we gotta get through this practice match. I think this is gonna be like the last thing before we get into nationals. Because after this practice match, that's when we're finally gonna get into nationals. So I'm really excited, you guys. Really, really, really excited. I think regarding this practice match, it's just gonna be like maybe next week episode and then the week after that, and then that's it. At least from what I can remember. Like, I really don't remember a whole lot of details because it's been about 3 years. I could be totally wrong. Like, if you find the video where I'm talking about the match with Datatech in the manga on my channel, it'll tell you exactly how many years it's been. But yeah, it's been at least 3 years, I want to say. But yeah, you guys, I'm super excited for next week's episode. I forgot what the name of the next week's episode is going to be, but when I saw the title, I was like, holy shit. It was Return. That's what it was. But yeah, I am so excited for next week's episode because, yeah, I mean, the way that it left off, I was like, oh my god, here we go. And then the ending theme played and I was like, we have to wait a whole ass week again. Anywho, so that's pretty much my overall thoughts for this week's episode of Haikyuu. I hope you guys liked seeing this type of video. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but I mean, it's not too different than me just talking about Haikyuu and just me. At least you guys get to see me doing my makeup than just me sitting down and freaking out. But yeah, so maybe that makes it more entertaining for you guys. I don't know. I don't know how you guys will feel about this when I post it, and I'm terrified. So like I said, hopefully you guys like these type of videos. I hope you guys do. I actually had fun just sitting down and just talking about it and just, you know, just doing my makeup, sitting, talking. Like I said, it's not really all that different from what I usually do, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, that is it for this week's video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!